If you've been meaning to get around to AI, but haven't had the time, the urgency, or the clarity to start, this episode is for you. Welcome back to the AI Beginner Podcast. This is a special episode. Today, I'm sharing the complete audiobook edition of AI Made Simple, the Beginner's Guide to Artificial Intelligence. This book was created for mid-career professionals working inside structured organizations, people responsible for workflows, teams, and outcomes, and everyday folks who want to understand AI clearly, without hype, without technical overwhelm, and without risking their credibility. If you've been feeling behind or unsure where AI actually fits into your real work, this audiobook will walk you through the fundamentals in a calm, structured way. From what AI actually is, to how it's already showing up in everyday systems, to how you can begin using it responsibly and confidently. You can listen straight through, or treat it like a structured roadmap, and come back to sections as needed. And if you're ready to move beyond listening and begin building capability step by step, you can start with the free 30-day roadmap at aibeginner.net/start. That roadmap will give you a practical, structured entry point, designed specifically for professionals who want clarity without hype. Now, let's begin. Welcome, and thank you for purchasing AI Made Simple, the Beginner's Guide to Artificial Intelligence, written and narrated by Steve Buckner. This book is all about helping everyday people understand, explore, and thrive in the age of AI, without the jargon, without the overwhelm, and without needing a tech background. Over the next couple of hours, we'll walk through what AI really is, how it fits into your daily life, and how you can start using it to save time, boost creativity, and work smarter, not harder. You'll hear real examples, simple explanations, and a few personal stories along the way, all designed to make learning about AI approachable, practical, and even a little fun. So, whether you're listening on your commute, at the gym, or relaxing at home, sit back and enjoy the journey. By the end, you'll see that AI isn't something to fear, it's something to use. Let's get started with AI Made Simple, the Beginner's Guide to Artificial Intelligence. Introduction. Welcome to the age of everyday AI. Why this book exists? Let's be honest. For most people, artificial intelligence sounds complicated, intimidating, and maybe even a little mysterious. Between the tech jargon, wild news headlines, and robots taking over talk, it's no wonder so many people feel left behind. But here's the truth. AI isn't just for scientists, engineers, or big corporations anymore. It's for everyone. And it's changing the world faster than most of us can keep up. That's why I wrote this book. I wanted to create something simple, friendly, and practical, a guide that makes AI easy to understand and even easier to use, no matter your background. No math, no code, no technical deep dives, just plain English explanations and real-world examples that show how AI can make your life and work better, starting today. If you've ever opened ChatGPT or heard someone talk about AI tools and thought, okay, but where do I even start? You're exactly who this book is for. A little bit about me. I've been working in technology for a long time, since the 1980s, back when floppy disks were still considered high-tech. My career has centered around IT infrastructure and the Microsoft ecosystem, and I've been a Microsoft certified trainer for years. In 2012, I shifted my focus to cloud systems engineering and have spent the last decade helping organizations adopt modern technologies securely and effectively. But here's the part that matters most for this book. I've seen firsthand how overwhelming technology can feel for people who aren't in the tech world. That's why I started aibeginner.net, to make AI approachable for everyone. Whether you're a small business owner, freelancer, or just curious about this new world, I want to show you that AI doesn't have to be intimidating. It can actually be empowering, fun, and surprisingly human. I've always believed that technology should lift people up, not leave them behind. And I'm optimistic that if we approach AI with curiosity and creativity, it could do exactly that. AI is not science fiction anymore. For decades, AI was something out of the movies, talking robots, glowing red eyes, futuristic cities. The truth is, we've quietly crossed into that someday future, and nobody got the memo. Today, AI isn't hiding in a lab somewhere. It's in your phone, your car, your favorite apps, your TV, your music playlist, even in your spam filter. It's quietly shaping your daily life, helping you find better routes, suggest what to watch, write emails faster, and improve photos before you post them. The difference now is accessibility. You no longer need a supercomputer or a PhD in computer science to use AI. All you need is a web browser and an idea. So yes, AI is here, and no, it's not out to take over the world. It's still struggling to write a good knock-knock joke. But it is reshaping how we work, learn, and create, and that's something worth understanding. You're already using it and didn't even know it. Here's the funny thing. You've probably been using AI for years without realizing it. Every time you ask Siri or Alexa a question, your phone unlocks by scanning your face. Gmail finishes your sentence for you. Netflix suggests a movie you actually like. Your car warns you of traffic before you see the brake lights. That's AI quietly doing its job behind the scenes. What's new and exciting is that AI has gone from being invisible to interactive. You can now have full conversations with it. You can brainstorm ideas, generate artwork, write business plans, or summarize research just by asking. And it's not just for tech people. It's for teachers, entrepreneurs, writers, parents, and anyone who wants to save time, get creative, or work a little smarter. The point is, you're not starting from zero. You're already an AI user. This book will simply help you become a confident one. How to get the most out of this guide. This isn't a textbook. It's a friendly companion. We're going to walk through the world of AI together, one simple concept at a time. Here are a few tips to make the most of it. Stay curious. You don't need to understand everything right away. Curiosity will take you further than expertise. Take it one chapter at a time. Each section builds on the last, but you can jump ahead if something catches your interest. Try the examples. You'll find short, practical exercises along the way, quick AI experiments to get hands-on experience. Keep a light heart. AI can be serious stuff, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun with it. By the end of this book, my goal is that you'll understand what AI actually is and isn't. Know how to use it confidently in your daily life or work. See the opportunities ahead, not the fears. AI is here to help us, to amplify our ideas, accelerate our learning, and open new doors we couldn't imagine a few years ago. And this is your chance to step confidently into that world. Welcome to the age of everyday AI, where the future isn't something to fear, it's something to use. Chapter 1. A Brief and Painless History of AI. From Alan Turing to ChatGPT, a friendly AI history for the rest of us. If you've ever wondered where all this artificial intelligence stuff actually came from, you're not alone. AI may feel like it just appeared out of nowhere, but in truth, it's been quietly brewing for more than 70 years. Don't worry, this isn't a lecture. No dates to memorize, no equations. Just a quick, friendly look at how we got from theory to talking chatbots. It all started with a man named Alan Turing, a British mathematician who, during World War II, helped crack the German Enigma code. In 1950, Turing published a paper asking a simple but revolutionary question. Can machines think? That single question laid the foundation for everything we now call AI. He even proposed a test, now known as the Turing test, where a human talks to both a person and a computer through text, and if they can't tell which is which, the machine could be said to think. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, researchers started dreaming big. They imagined machines that could reason, play chess, and even understand language. Computers were primitive at the time, but the excitement was real. Early AI programs could solve puzzles and play simple games, and scientists thought true artificial intelligence was just a decade away. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. The optimism of those early years hit a wall. Computers back then were painfully slow and expensive, and researchers quickly realized that human intelligence was a lot more complicated than they'd assumed. By the 1970s, AI hype had cooled off dramatically. Funding dried up, and the first AI winter began. Still, a few dedicated researchers kept the spark alive. They worked quietly on things like algorithms, data structures, and neural networks, the building blocks of today's AI. Progress was slow but steady. By the 1980s, expert systems, programs designed to mimic the decision-making of human specialists, briefly brought AI back into the spotlight. Businesses used them to automate tasks, but again, the technology wasn't quite ready for prime time. Another AI winter followed. Then something big changed. That big change was data. In the 1990s and early 2000s, the internet exploded, and suddenly there was data everywhere. Emails, photos, videos, websites, and search queries. At the same time, computers became thousands of times faster and cheaper. Machine learning, a branch of AI that learns patterns from data instead of following strict rules, started to shine. The big turning point came around 2010 with the rise of something called deep learning, a modern version of the old neural networks from decades earlier. With massive data sets and powerful GPUs, AI could now recognize images, translate languages, and even beat world champions at complex games like Go. And then came ChatGPT, the tool that brought AI out of the lab and into everyday life. Launched in late 2022, ChatGPT showed the world that you didn't need to be a scientist to use AI. You could simply talk to it in plain English, and it would write, brainstorm, or explain almost anything. It wasn't perfect and sometimes a little too confident, but it changed everything. For the first time, millions of people could interact directly with an intelligent system. AI went mainstream. From Alan Turing's thought experiment to modern conversational assistants, it's been quite a ride. And we're only getting started. The winters of AI and why this time is different. So why should we believe that this time, unlike all those earlier false starts, AI is here to stay? 3 reasons: power, data, and accessibility. First, power. Today's computers are unimaginably faster than those of the past. What used to take hours or days now happens in seconds. Cloud computing gives anyone, anywhere, access to more processing power than entire universities had in the 1980s. Second, data. AI feeds on data, and we're producing more of it than ever before. Photos, emails, social posts, GPS locations, you name it. Every click, search, and selfie contributes to the ocean of data that helps AI learn how the world works. Third, accessibility. The biggest change isn't just what AI can do, it's who can use it. Tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Microsoft Copilot have put the power of AI in the hands of ordinary people. You don't need to install special software, write code, or even understand how it works. You just need curiosity and an internet connection. That combination, faster computers, more data, and easy access, has transformed AI from a research project into a daily reality. This time, the momentum isn't slowing down. Why understanding a little history helps make sense of where we are today. Knowing how we got here helps you understand why AI feels both exciting and a little unpredictable. The history of AI is a pattern of high hopes, setbacks, and breakthroughs, and that pattern will probably continue. It's also a reminder that AI isn't magic. It's the result of decades of hard work by people trying to make machines a little bit smarter every year. Each generation builds on the last, learning from both the successes and the mistakes. Understanding this history helps us stay grounded. It reminds us that AI has always been a human story, one of creativity, persistence, and optimism. So, as we move forward into the world of everyday AI, remember you're stepping into a story that's been unfolding for 70 years. The difference is that now, you're not just reading about it, you're part of it. Chapter 2. What exactly is artificial intelligence? The simplest explanation possible. Let's start with the question everyone asks, but few can actually answer. What exactly is artificial intelligence? The simplest explanation is this. AI is when computers are designed to do things that normally require human intelligence. That's it. If a machine can recognize speech, understand language, learn from experience, make decisions, or solve problems, it's showing some level of artificial intelligence. Now, that doesn't mean it's alive, or conscious, or secretly plotting world domination from your laptop. It just means it can perform tasks that once required a person, only faster and without needing a lunch break. You can think of AI as a very powerful pattern-finding engine. It learns patterns from data, words, pictures, sounds, numbers, and then uses those patterns to predict or generate something new. For example, when you type into your phone and it finishes your sentence, that's AI predicting the next likely word. When you upload a photo and it recognizes a face, that's AI matching visual patterns. When ChatGPT writes an essay or helps you draft an email, that's AI generating new text based on patterns it's learned from reading billions of examples. In short, AI doesn't know things the way you do. It's really good at recognizing patterns and guessing what comes next. And when you combine massive amounts of data with fast computers, those guesses start to look pretty impressive, breaking down machine learning, neural networks, and other buzzwords into real-world terms. Let's unpack some of the buzzwords you've probably heard. Don't worry, we'll keep it light. Machine learning. This is the heart of modern AI. Instead of being told exactly what to do step by step, a machine learning system learns from examples. Imagine teaching a kid to recognize cats. You don't hand them a rulebook that says 4 legs, some whiskers, and a tail. You show them lots of pictures, and they eventually figure it out on their own. That's how machine learning works. The more data it sees, the better it gets. It learns patterns, improves over time, and adjusts its output based on feedback. It's not thinking, it's training. Neural networks. These are computer systems inspired by how the human brain works, at least in theory. They're made up of layers of nodes or neurons that pass information along, kind of like a web of tiny decision makers. Each layer refines the data a bit more until a final result pops out. If that sounds complicated, here's a simpler analogy. Imagine a big factory assembly line. Each station adds or checks something. One focuses on color, another on shape, another on size, and by the end, the system can confidently say, "Yep, that's a cat." Deep learning. This is just a bigger, more complex version of neural networks with many layers. Hence the word deep. It's what powers the most advanced AI systems today, like image recognition, voice assistants, and text generators. Large language models, LLMs, this is the category that tools like ChatGPT belong to. They've been trained on enormous amounts of text, books, articles, and conversations, so they can generate human-like responses to questions and prompts. Think of them as supercharged autocomplete engines that can write, summarize, or explain just about anything. When you hear GPT, Gemini, or Claude, you're hearing brand names for these large language models. They all do similar things in slightly different ways, kind of like how Google, Bing, and DuckDuckGo are all search engines. The takeaway? AI today isn't one single thing. It's a collection of methods, models, and technologies all working toward the same goal: teaching computers to learn from data instead of just following rules. Myths versus reality. No, AI doesn't think like a human yet. Let's clear up a few common misunderstandings, because pop culture hasn't exactly helped us here. Myth 1. AI can think for itself. Reality. Not even close. AI doesn't think, reason, or have opinions. It doesn't want anything. It processes information based on math and probability, not emotion or intention. When ChatGPT gives you an answer, it's not sharing wisdom. It's generating text based on what words are most likely to come next. The result may sound natural, but it's not a thought. It's a calculation. Myth 2. AI will soon become conscious. Reality. Consciousness, awareness, emotion, understanding is uniquely human. No AI system today has anything close to that. Some researchers like to debate whether it's possible someday, but right now, we're nowhere near it. The AI that writes poetry doesn't feel inspired. It's just remixing words that have statistically gone together before. Myth 3. AI always tells the truth. Reality. AI can be wildly confident and completely wrong. It doesn't know facts. It predicts likely responses. That's why it sometimes hallucinates and gives answers that sound right but aren't. Think of it as a friend who always wants to be helpful but occasionally makes stuff up just to keep the conversation going. Myth 4. AI will take over the world. Reality. Relax. It still can't even fold your laundry. The real challenges ahead are about ethics, data privacy, and how humans use AI responsibly, not about it suddenly turning evil. Here's the healthy way to think about AI. It's not a mind, a monster, or a miracle. It's a tool. A very powerful, rapidly evolving tool. I've seen that firsthand. After decades working in IT, I used to spend hours writing and testing scripts, tweaking syntax, and debugging lines of code. I haven't had to write a PowerShell script by hand in over 2 years. AI now handles it in minutes. What used to take me a full day of work can often be done in 2 minutes with the right prompt. That's not about replacing skill. It's about amplifying it. AI doesn't make my experience obsolete. It makes it more effective. It lets me focus on the why instead of wrestling with the how. Used wisely, it can help us write better, learn faster, and solve tough problems. Used carelessly, it can spread misinformation or amplify bias. The difference always comes down to the human using it. AI doesn't replace human intelligence. It extends it. It's like adding an extra gear to your thinking, not a new brain. And that's what makes this era of AI so exciting. It's not about creating machines that outthink us. It's about creating tools that help us think bigger. Up next, we'll look at the invisible AI all around you, the kind that quietly works behind the scenes every single day. You may not see it, but it's already shaping your world in ways you'll never unsee once you know where to look. Chapter 3. The invisible AI around you. AI in your phone, car, emails, Netflix, and even your spam filter. Artificial intelligence can sound big and abstract, something happening in research labs, boardrooms, or sci-fi movies. But the truth is, AI has been quietly living in your pocket, your car, your apps, and even your inbox for years. You've been using it all along. You just didn't notice because it never introduced itself. Take your phone. Every time you unlock it with your face, that's AI recognizing you. When you take a photo and it automatically adjusts lighting, detects a smile, or blurs the background, that's AI doing real-time image processing. When you get a suggested reply to a text, that's AI predicting what you'll say next. Your email app? It's powered by AI too. Spam filters use machine learning to spot patterns in unwanted messages. If you've ever wondered how your email knows which messages are legitimate and which are a scam from a Nigerian prince, thank AI. It's seen millions of spam examples and knows exactly what trouble looks like. Your car? If it's a newer model, AI is helping there too. Lane detection, collision warnings, adaptive cruise control, all powered by algorithms trained on enormous amounts of driving data. Even GPS apps like Google Maps and Waze rely on AI to predict traffic, calculate the fastest routes, and reroute you in real time. And then there's Netflix. You've probably noticed that what it recommends often feels strangely accurate, like it knows what you're in the mood for before you do. That's no accident. Netflix's recommendation engine is one of the most sophisticated AI systems in the world. It doesn't just look at what you've watched. It compares your viewing habits to millions of others and constantly adjusts what it suggests. The funny part? Netflix reportedly tests thousands of thumbnail images for the same show to see which one you're most likely to click. If you're wondering why the same movie poster looks different on your account than someone else's, it's because AI custom-tailored it just for you. AI is everywhere, quietly pulling strings behind the curtain, not to manipulate, but to personalize. Everyday examples of how AI quietly improves your life. The amazing thing about AI is how seamlessly it's blended into ordinary life. You don't think of it as AI anymore. It's just the stuff that makes things work better. Take a look around your digital world. Voice assistants, Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant use natural language processing to understand you, well, most of the time. They convert your spoken words into data, analyze your intent, and respond in a fraction of a second. It's easy to forget how mind-blowing that actually is. Photos and filters. When your phone recognizes a face, blurs a background, or color corrects automatically, that's AI enhancing your images in real time. The result? Everyone's a semi-professional photographer without ever touching a settings menu. Shopping recommendations. Whether it's Amazon suggesting customers also bought, or a clothing store showing you might like, AI is constantly learning your preferences. The goal isn't to be creepy, it's to reduce friction. If you buy cat food regularly, it knows you'll need more in a few weeks. Banking and security. AI detects fraud by looking for unusual patterns. If your card gets declined while you're traveling, that's AI being cautious. It can recognize when spending patterns don't match your usual behavior, often preventing a problem before you even notice. Smart homes. Thermostats that learn your schedule, lights that adjust automatically, and speakers that respond to your voice, all powered by AI learning your habits. It's convenient with a side of magic. Now, here's the part that really drives it home. I was listening to Spotify the other day while working on this very book and suddenly realized how much AI has changed, even that simple experience. My Discover Weekly playlist felt like it knew my mood better than I did. The songs weren't random. They were chosen by algorithms that analyze listening patterns, tempo, energy level, and even transitions between songs to keep you engaged. 10 years ago, I would have spent hours curating playlists by hand. Now, AI handles it automatically, not just for me, but for hundreds of millions of people at once. That realization stopped me for a moment. AI isn't something coming soon. It's already here, quietly improving the things we use every day, often in ways we don't notice until we pause to appreciate them. AI is like electricity in that way. We don't think about how the lights turn on, we just expect them to. But it wasn't always that way. At one point, electricity was new, strange, and even feared. Over time, it became an invisible backbone of modern life. AI is following the same path. Why it's not just for techies or sci-fi fans. One of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it's a tech thing, something for engineers, coders, or science fiction enthusiasts. But that couldn't be further from the truth. You don't have to understand how an engine works to drive a car, and you don't need to understand every algorithm to use AI. What matters is knowing what it can do and what it can't, so you can use it to your advantage. AI has already become the great equalizer of productivity. It levels the playing field by giving individuals and small teams access to tools that used to require large budgets and specialized skills. Writers can brainstorm ideas faster. Teachers can create lesson plans in minutes. Small business owners can automate marketing and customer support. Artists can experiment with new styles without expensive software. That's why this era of AI isn't about replacing people. It's about enabling them. The people who thrive in the next decade won't be the ones who fear AI, but the ones who learn to work with it. Think of AI as your digital assistant that never sleeps. It can draft, analyze, organize, summarize, and brainstorm, but it still needs you to steer the ship. Your creativity, judgment, and experience are what give AI its direction. And that's the key difference between humans and machines. AI can predict, but it can't care. It can imitate understanding, but it can't feel purpose. That's where we come in. The future belongs to those who are curious enough to learn and humble enough to experiment. You don't need to become an AI expert, just someone who's willing to explore what's possible. So next time you open your favorite app, start your car, or scroll through your playlist, take a moment to appreciate the quiet intelligence running behind the scenes. AI doesn't need to announce itself to change your life. It's already doing it, invisibly, effortlessly, and everywhere. Chapter 4. Meet the modern AI tools. Quick tour of today's most useful AI tools. Now that you know what AI is and how it works, Let's meet the tools that are bringing it to life. You've probably heard names like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Copilot, and Midjourney floating around. They're everywhere, in the news, on social media, and sometimes even inside the apps you already use. But what do they actually do? And more importantly, which one is right for you? Let's take a friendly tour through today's most popular AI tools, what they're great at, what they're not, and how to pick one without feeling overwhelmed. ChatGPT. This is the one that started it all for most people. Developed by OpenAI, ChatGPT took the world by storm because it was the first widely available AI model that could carry on a surprisingly human-like conversation. What it's good at. ChatGPT is excellent at writing, summarizing, brainstorming, explaining concepts, generating code, and helping with day-to-day problem solving. It's available through a simple chat interface and supports both text and voice conversations, depending on version. The Pro version includes access to GPT-5, which is more accurate, creative, and capable of understanding complex instructions. What it's not great at. It can occasionally sound confident, but be wrong. Always double-check important facts. It can over-explain or be overly polite, though that's part of its charm. Like all models, it doesn't know real-time information unless connected to the web, which newer versions now support. Who it fits best? ChatGPT fits people who enjoy structured, conversational guidance. It's ideal for beginners, writers, teachers, and business owners who value clarity and a friendly tone. If you like working with a dependable, steady assistant that feels approachable, this one will click with you. Gemini, formerly Google Bard. Gemini is Google's entry into the large language model race. It integrates deeply with Google Search and Google Workspace tools like Docs, Sheets, and Gmail. What it's good at? Real-time, web-connected answers. Gemini has direct access to Google's search index, so it's great for up-to-date information. It can summarize long articles, find references, and generate content tied directly to current events. Strong integration with Google tools. If you live in Google Workspace, it's a natural fit. What it's not great at. Its tone can feel a bit robotic or formal compared to ChatGPT. Sometimes it tries too hard to be neutral, avoiding confident opinions even when one would help. The creativity factor is improving, but can still feel limited in certain types of writing or storytelling. Who it fits best? Gemini is ideal for people who like efficiency, structure, and access to current, factual data. If you're the research first, write later type, Gemini will feel like home. It's especially good for those already deep in the Google ecosystem, Gmail, Drive, and Calendar users. Take note. Claude. Claude is the polite, thoughtful philosopher of the AI family. Designed with an emphasis on ethics, safety, and context awareness, Claude feels less like an assistant and more like a conversation partner who really listens. What's good at? Understanding large, complex documents. It can read and summarize very long texts, giving nuanced, well-balanced answers with a calm, reflective tone. Handling creative writing or brainstorming tasks with empathy and emotional intelligence. What it's not great at. Sometimes it overthinks or adds disclaimers where you just want an answer. It doesn't yet support image creation or as many plugins as ChatGPT. Web access is limited compared to Gemini. Who it fits best. Claude is perfect for people who value thoughtful, human-like conversation. Writers, coaches, and educators often prefer Claude's gentle, introspective style. If you like nuance and depth over speed, Claude's your pick. Microsoft Copilot. Formerly known as Bing Chat, Copilot is Microsoft's AI layer built into Windows, Office, and the Edge browser. It uses OpenAI's models, but integrates directly into productivity tools. What's good at? Seamless integration with Microsoft 365, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. Creating documents, summarizing emails, analyzing spreadsheets, and generating presentations instantly. Great for professionals who already live inside Microsoft's ecosystem. What's not great at? It can feel limited if you're not using Microsoft tools. It's at its best when you're inside Office apps. Its interface can feel less conversational than ChatGPT or Claude. Web responses sometimes vary in tone or accuracy, depending on your version. Who it fits best. Copilot is for the practical-minded professional. If your day revolves around Excel, PowerPoint, or Teams, Copilot can save you hours. It's a perfect fit for people who prefer clear, task-oriented AI that integrates directly into their workflow. Midjourney and others like NanoBanana. These are the visual artists of the AI world. Midjourney generates images from text prompts. Midjourney and Google Gemini's NanoBanana offer similar features, each with its own style. What they're good at: creating illustrations, product mock-ups, logos, and concept art in seconds. Great for social media graphics, book covers, and creative brainstorming. Recent versions of Midjourney and even Canva are integrated into ChatGPT, so you can generate and edit images directly in one chat. What they're not great at: sometimes struggle with hands, text, or fine details, though improving fast. Artistic consistency can vary. Getting the exact same character or style across multiple images can be tricky. They require practice and patience with prompts. Do they fit best? Perfect for visual thinkers, marketers, designers, and content creators. If you love seeing ideas come to life visually, these tools are addictive in the best way. Chat LLM, the all-in-one AI platform. Chat LLM is a newer type of platform that acts as a meta-interface, a single place where you can access multiple AI models at once. Instead of being tied to one company's model, like OpenAI's GPT or Google's Gemini, Chat LLM lets you switch between them seamlessly inside the same chat window. What it offers: access to multiple models such as GPT-5, Claude, Gemini, and Mistral. Side-by-side comparisons of responses from different models. The ability to route certain tasks to whichever AI performs best, for example, sending code to GPT-5 but writing to Claude. A customizable interface where you can create personas or saved workflows for specific tasks. The pros: flexibility. You're not locked into one ecosystem. Excellent for people who want to experiment or compare results. Cost-effective if you use multiple AI tools but don't want to pay for each separately. Great for advanced users or professionals who value versatility. The cons: it can feel overwhelming for beginners. Too many options can create analysis paralysis. Performance depends on each connected model. If one service is down or lagging, it affects the experience. Privacy and data handling vary, depending on how ChatLLM connects to third-party APIs. Always review the fine print. Who it fits best: power users, testers, and professionals who like to experiment and push boundaries. Those who need the best of all worlds in one place. Writing with Claude, coding with GPT, searching with Gemini. Curious minds who enjoy tinkering with tech. In short, ChatLLM is like having a command center for AI, one dashboard to access every major model. It's not necessary for everyone, but if you love flexibility and efficiency, it's an impressive option. Choosing the right tool for your needs without getting overwhelmed. Now, here's the truth. Even with all these choices, you don't have to pick the best one. You just have to pick the one that works best for you. Here's a tip I use personally. I find myself bouncing back and forth between platforms all the time. One week, Gemini is improving its accuracy. The next week, ChatGPT adds a new feature. Then Claude updates its context limits and suddenly becomes my favorite again. It's a moving target, and that's perfectly fine. But here's what I learned. At some point, you need a home base. A tool you know inside and out, your go-to assistant. For me, that's ChatGPT. It fits my workflow, suits my communication style, and aligns with how I think. Even though I still test all the major models, having a primary platform helps me stay consistent. I know where to start, and I can branch out as needed. Here's a simple set of guidelines for choosing your own AI home base. Match your personality. Are you more structured and research-focused? Gemini might fit. Do you like creative brainstorming? Try Claude. Want balance and polish? ChatGPT may be your match. Think about your ecosystem. If you use Microsoft 365 every day, Copilot makes sense. If you're a Google Workspace user, Gemini will feel natural. Start with one, but stay curious. You'll learn faster when you go deep with one tool before comparing others. Remember, there's no best. Each model has strengths, and they're evolving constantly. The best AI for you is the one that helps you get more done with less frustration. The bottom line is this: you don't need to chase every new release or feature. You just need one AI partner that fits your workflow and personality. AI tools will keep changing, improving, and competing with them, and that's a good thing. The winner isn't any one platform. It's you, the user, who learns how to make the most of them. Chapter 5: How to Talk to AI, Prompting Without the Pain. If there's one chapter that separates frustrated users from confident ones, this is it. Most people think AI is about knowing secret commands or technical jargon. It's not. It's about learning to have a clear conversation. You don't need to program AI. You just need to communicate with it. The truth is, AI is only as smart as your prompt. Garbage in, garbage out, or as I like to say, vague in, vague out. Once you learn how to talk to AI clearly and naturally, everything changes. You'll start getting results that actually make sense, and you'll spend less time arguing with your laptop. The golden prompt formula: clarity, context, and creativity. There's no secret code, but there's a simple structure that works every time. I call it the golden prompt formula. Clarity plus context plus creativity equals great results. Let's break that down. Clarity means telling the AI exactly what you want. Don't assume it knows your intention. Be specific about the task and format. Instead of write something about AI, say write a 200-word introduction for a beginner's guide to AI in a friendly, plain English tone. Context means giving it enough background to understand why you're asking. If you were giving this task to a human assistant, you'd explain who it's for and what it's meant to achieve. Do the same here. For example, you're helping me write a blog post for small business owners who are new to AI. Keep it simple and practical. Creativity means leaving room for exploration. AI shines when you give it freedom to surprise you. For example, by asking for 3 alternative headlines, 5 approaches, or a few creative ideas. It's like brainstorming with a tireless coworker who never runs out of coffee. Put it all together, and your prompt becomes a clear, guided instruction instead of a guess. Here's the golden formula again, in plain terms. Tell it what role to play. Give it clear instructions. Provide context or background. Specify the tone, style, or format you want. Ask for options or creativity when needed. Common mistakes people make. Everyone, even experienced users, falls into the same traps when prompting. Here are the big ones to watch out for. Mistake 1: being too vague. Write about AI. That's like telling a chef, cook something. Sure, you'll get food, but it might not be what you wanted. Mistake 2: asking everything at once. Explain AI. Give me 10 examples. Write a script, make it funny, and summarize it. That's 5 separate requests. AI does better with one clear goal at a time. Mistake 3: forgetting context. If you don't explain who it's for or why you need it, the AI must guess. That's how you end up with an answer that feels off. Mistake 4: giving no feedback. AI learns from your corrections within a conversation. If the response isn't right, say so. Try, that's close, but make it shorter and more casual. You'll be amazed how fast it adjusts. Mistake 5: treating it like Google. AI chat isn't a search engine. It doesn't just fetch information. It creates responses based on patterns. You'll get better results if you speak conversationally instead of typing keywords. Fun examples of before and after prompts. Let's look at how small changes make a big difference. Example 1: writing assistance. Before, write about artificial intelligence. After, write a 150-word introduction explaining artificial intelligence to beginners. Use a friendly tone, simple language, and one light joke at the end. Result: the first version gives you a textbook definition. The second feels like a person wrote it for an actual audience. Example 2: marketing help. Before, create an ad for my business. After, you are a marketing expert helping a small business that sells eco-friendly candles. Write 3 short ad headlines and 1 paragraph of ad copy in a warm, friendly tone. Emphasize natural ingredients and relaxation. Result: instead of a generic ad, you get content you can actually use because the AI finally knows who you are, what you sell, and who you're talking to. Example 3. Coding or technical tasks. Before, write a PowerShell script to create user folders. After, write a PowerShell script that creates user folders for a list of usernames stored in a CSV file. Each folder should include subfolders for documents, pictures, and reports. Include comments explaining each step. Result: the AI produces usable, readable code. You don't have to fix missing details because you already gave them. Example 4. Brainstorming ideas. Before, give me ideas for my podcast. After, I host a podcast about how everyday people use AI. Give me 10 creative episode ideas that are inspiring, practical, and beginner-friendly. Include a short description for each. Result: specific, interesting, and usable because you set boundaries. Your first practice exercises. These short activities will help you sharpen your prompting skills. Don't skip them. This is where your confidence starts to build. Exercise 1. Rewrite for clarity. Take a vague prompt and rewrite it using the golden formula. Example: vague, explain AI. Better, explain artificial intelligence in under 200 words for a 12-year-old. Use real-life examples and a friendly tone. Try this with 3 topics you care about. Exercise 2. Add context. Pick something you'd like AI to help you with. Maybe an email, a report, or a creative idea. Add details. Who it's for, what tone you want, and what you'll use it for. Example: instead of write an email, try write a polite email to a client explaining a 1-day delay in a project. Keep it professional but reassuring. Exercise 3. Explore creativity. Ask AI for multiple options. The first answer is rarely the best. Try prompts like, give me 5 ways to explain this idea. List 3 catchy titles for this article. Offer 2 different approaches, 1 formal, 1 funny. The more you ask for variety, the better you'll learn what each model can do. Exercise 4. Give feedback. Take 1 AI response you didn't love and tell it how to fix it. Try, that's too formal. Can you make it sound more conversational? Or, this is close, but add a short list of examples. You'll start to see how interactive and flexible these tools really are. The key takeaway: the more effort you put into your prompt, the more useful the AI becomes. It's like giving directions. The clearer your map, the faster you reach your destination. Over time, you'll start to develop your own prompting style. Some people like detailed instructions. Others prefer open-ended collaboration. There's no wrong way. Just find what fits your rhythm. You'll also notice that different models respond differently. ChatGPT might excel at tone and writing, while Gemini might shine in up-to-date facts, and Claude might give deeper, more nuanced answers. Try the same prompt in each and compare it. It's one of the best ways to learn. And here's a bonus tip: save your best prompts. Keep a simple text file or note with ones that worked well. They'll become your personal library, your prompt toolkit. Learning to talk to AI isn't about mastering technology. It's about improving communication. The more clearly you express yourself, the more valuable the results become. So don't overthink it. Just start talking. The best way to learn how to talk to AI is the same way you learn to talk to people. By doing it often, being curious, and not being afraid to sound a little awkward at first. Chapter 6. AI for Work, Business, and Everyday Life. Boosting productivity with AI. Writing, emails, brainstorming. Let's face it, work is full of repetitive, time-consuming tasks that drain creativity. Emails, reports, meeting notes, and outlines all compete for your attention. AI can help you handle the busy work so you can focus on the meaningful stuff. The beauty of AI is that it doesn't get tired, distracted, or need caffeine. It's always ready to help you draft, plan, summarize, or brainstorm. Used wisely, it can turn an 8-hour workday into something that feels productive. Here are a few ways to use AI to get your time and sanity back. Writing and editing. AI can help you draft first versions of reports, proposals, or marketing copies. It won't replace your ideas, but it can give you a strong starting point. You can say, write a 300-word summary of this report in plain English, or edit this paragraph to sound more confident and professional. If you write regularly, tools like ChatGPT or Claude can become your co-editor. They'll catch tone issues, grammar mistakes, or wordiness faster than you can say Grammarly who. Email drafting. AI can turn vague notes into polished messages. Try prompts like, write a short, polite follow-up email about the proposal I sent last week. Or, draft a friendly reminder to the client about tomorrow's meeting. Many email platforms already integrate AI directly. Copilot in Outlook or Gemini in Gmail can suggest full messages or summarize long threads so you don't have to scroll endlessly. Brainstorming ideas. Stuck on a blank page? Ask AI to brainstorm with you. You can prompt it with, give me 5 creative ideas for a new product launch. Or, what are 3 ways to explain this concept to non-technical users? Think of AI as your non-judgmental thought partner. It never gets tired of your what-if questions and doesn't mind bad ideas along the way. Small business applications. Marketing, automation, customer support. Small businesses and freelancers are often stretched thinly. There's never enough time, budget, or staff. That's where AI levels the playing field. It gives small teams access to the same kind of efficiency that used to require big company resources. Here are practical ways small business owners are already using AI every day. Marketing and content creation. AI can help you write blog posts, product descriptions, newsletters, and social media captions. You can even ask for variations by tone or audience. Example prompts. Write a short Facebook post introducing our new coffee blend in a friendly, conversational tone. Or, create 3 versions of a headline for a small business blog about productivity. AI image tools like Midjourney or Canva's Magic Media can generate custom graphics, logos, or add images without hiring a designer. Customer communication. AI chatbots can handle simple customer questions 24/7. Things like, where's my order? Or what's your refund policy? They can free up human staff for more complex issues. Even if you're not ready for a full chatbot, AI can still help by drafting FAQ responses or email templates for common inquiries. Automation and organization. Tools like Zapier or Make connect your apps together so repetitive tasks happen automatically. For example, when someone fills out a contact form, AI can write a thank you email. When a new lead comes in, it can summarize their info for your CRM. You don't need to be a programmer. Most of these automations are drag and drop simple. Data and insights. AI can also analyze data for you. Whether it's sales trends or customer feedback, you can paste raw information into ChatGPT or Copilot and ask for a plain English summary. Try. Summarize this sales data and highlight 3 insights or trends. Suddenly, you have a personal analyst without adding anyone to payroll. Time-saving ideas for professionals and freelancers. Whether you're a manager, consultant, educator, or freelancer, AI can help you work smarter. Here are a few everyday scenarios. Meetings. Tired of endless note-taking? AI tools like Otter AI or Microsoft Teams' built-in assistant can transcribe meetings, summarize key points, and even generate follow-up tasks automatically. Reports and documentation. Have a pile of information that needs to be condensed? Feed it to AI with a simple prompt. Summarize this document and create bullet points for a presentation. It's like having a personal assistant who loves paperwork. Presentations. PowerPoint with Copilot or Canva's Magic Write can turn your ideas into slides instantly. You can even ask for design suggestions and talking points. Project planning. Use AI to build checklists, roadmaps, or timelines. Prompt example. Create a simple 3-week launch plan for a new podcast including tasks for marketing, production, and outreach. Freelancers. AI can help you pitch faster and sound more professional. Try. Write a short proposal for a social media manager offering monthly content creation services. It can also analyze your contracts or generate invoices. Just double-check the details before sending. And here's a personal favorite example of using AI for something completely different: music. I play guitar terribly. When I pick it up, people tend to frown, leave the room, or ask politely, "I thought you said you could play guitar?" It's tragic and kind of funny, but also true. For years, I played purely by ear, learning random songs badly and frustrating everyone, including myself. So, I finally decided to let AI help. I asked ChatGPT to create a personalized learning path, complete with daily practice sessions, chord progression exercises, and tips for building proper technique instead of the freestyle chaos I'd been doing. What it gave me was better than anything I'd found on YouTube. A structured method built around my goals, the time I had available, and the kind of music I liked. It didn't magically make me sound like Eric Clapton overnight, but it gave me a plan, and that made all the difference. The point is, AI isn't just for professionals or coders. It's a universal productivity partner. Whether it's automating reports, creating marketing materials, or, finally, learning to play guitar without clearing a room, AI can meet you where you are and help you improve faster than you could alone. What to try this week mini guide. Let's make it practical. Here are 5 simple things you can do this week to put AI to work immediately. No coding, no setup, just results. Day 1, email cleanup. Ask AI to summarize or rewrite one long email thread in your inbox. Use the summary to reply faster and move on with your day. Day 2, brainstorm power hour. Pick a problem you've been overthinking, maybe a blog topic, project name, or marketing idea. Spend 20 minutes brainstorming with AI. Let it suggest, remix, and refine your thoughts. Day 3, delegate a report. Take a document, spreadsheet, or article and ask AI to summarize the key takeaways in bullet form. You'll be amazed at how much time you save. Day 4, create a post or ad. Use AI to write one short social media post or product blurb. Even if you don't publish it, you'll learn what kind of prompts produce the best tone. Day 5, automate one routine task. Use a free tool like Zapier to connect 2 apps you use often. For example, when a form is submitted, send an automatic thank you email. Each of these takes 10 to 20 minutes, and by the end of the week, you'll have real results, not just theory. The bigger picture: AI doesn't just make your work faster, it changes the shape of work. It helps you spend more time on judgment, creativity, and human connection, and less time on repetitive stuff. The trick isn't to hand everything over to AI. The trick is to know what to keep for yourself and what to delegate. Once you figure that out, you'll never look at a workday the same way again. Chapter 7. The big question: will AI take my job? Honest, hopeful, human. Let's talk about the question that hangs over every conversation about AI. You've probably thought it yourself. Will AI take my job? It's a fair question. Every major technological shift, from the printing press to the personal computer, has sparked the same kind of anxiety. The truth is, AI will change jobs. Some will evolve, some will fade, and many new ones will be created. But that doesn't mean it's all doom and gloom. In fact, it's the opposite. AI isn't coming for your career, it's coming for your busy work. It's coming for the repetitive, time-consuming parts of your job that drain your creativity, eat your time, and add stress to your day. And once you understand how to use it, AI doesn't take your work away. It gives part of your life back. What jobs are changing and which are not disappearing? AI is already reshaping industries, but not in the ways the headlines make it sound. It's not replacing people, it's replacing tasks. Here's what that looks like. Jobs being reshaped. Customer service reps are using AI chat tools to handle routine questions faster. Writers, marketers, and designers are using AI for drafts and ideas, not to replace their creativity, but to multiply it. IT professionals and analysts are using AI to automate reports, monitor systems, and find issues before they happen. These roles aren't vanishing, they're evolving. The people who know how to use AI effectively will become the ones everyone else turns to. Jobs staying human. Anything that depends on empathy, trust, or human connection remains firmly in human hands. Teachers, nurses, therapists, leaders, coaches, creators. The work that relies on emotional intelligence can't be automated. AI can mimic tone, but it can't replace the warmth of understanding. The reality is, AI will likely change what your job looks like, not eliminate the need for you. The more you learn to use it, the more valuable you become. The adaptability advantage. How learning to use AI protects your future. Adaptability is the new superpower. The world doesn't stand still, and neither should we. Every time technology changes, the people who thrive are the ones who stay curious instead of defensive. Learning to work with AI isn't just a skill, it's career insurance. Here's what that means. If you learn how to use AI to assist your daily work, you instantly become more productive. If you share what you've learned with others, you become a leader, even informally. If you teach yourself to adapt, no new technology can ever leave you behind again. I've seen this firsthand. In my own work, AI hasn't taken anything from me. It's given me more control over my time. I used to spend hours writing and testing PowerShell scripts, tweaking code, and waiting for results. Now I can describe the goal to AI, have it write, and explain the script, and get it running in minutes. What used to take me an entire afternoon now takes 2 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration. The result? I've freed up hours in my week that used to be swallowed up by boring tasks. I can now focus on the creative and strategic side of my work, teaching, writing, building resources, and helping others understand this new world of technology. I'm actually happier not having to sweat the boring stuff. AI didn't replace me. It multiplied what I could do. How to future-proof your career. Curiosity, creativity, and collaboration. Here's the good news. The future doesn't belong to AI. It belongs to humans who know how to use AI. You don't have to become an expert or data scientist. You just have to be open to learning, experimenting, and adapting. The skills that will matter most aren't technical. They're timeless. Curiosity. Ask questions, experiment, and play. The people who get the most from AI are the ones who treat it like a tool to explore ideas, not a threat to avoid. You don't have to know everything. Just be willing to click on stuff. Creativity. AI is a fantastic partner, but it needs your imagination to guide it. Whether you're writing a blog post, designing a product, or planning a lesson, you bring the spark that AI can't. Let it handle the groundwork so you can focus on the creative decisions. Collaboration. The future of work isn't humans versus machines. It's humans with machines. You'll get the best results when you collaborate with AI instead of competing with it. It's your assistant, not your rival. And here's a big tip I've learned after helping others get comfortable with these tools. The biggest hurdle is fear. Once you get over the fear of AI, that feeling of, I don't understand this, so it must be dangerous, you're gold. That's the turning point. The moment you take that first small step, everything starts to click. You don't need to dive in head first. Start with a single task, maybe rewriting an email, summarizing a document, or brainstorming ideas. Watch what happens when you let the tool work with you instead of against you. That first success is all it takes to build confidence. A hopeful reality. Technology has always transformed the way we work, from typewriters to word processors, from filing cabinets to cloud storage. AI is simply the next step in that evolution. Yes, it will change some jobs, but it will also create new ones we haven't imagined yet. Roles focused on creativity, oversight, teaching, and innovation. In fact, some of the most secure careers in the next decade will belong to people who know how to use AI effectively to enhance human work, not replace it. So no, AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI might. That's why now, right now, is the best time to learn. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. Be curious. Experiment. Play a little. Ask questions. And remember this. AI doesn't reduce your value. It amplifies it. Once you overcome the fear and learn how to use it, you won't just keep your job. You'll love it more. Chapter 8. How to Team Up with AI. AI is your assistant, not your replacement. By now, you've probably noticed a pattern. AI works best when it's treated like a partner, not a competitor. Think of it as an assistant who never sleeps, doesn't get tired, and doesn't need a reminder to focus. AI doesn't replace your experience or your intuition. It extends them. It takes the repetitive, mechanical parts of your day and handles them efficiently, so you can focus on the parts that need a human touch. When you work with AI instead of against it, you create something powerful, a human-machine partnership where each side does what it's best at. The AI handles speed and precision. You handle meaning and direction. That's the sweet spot, and the people who learn to find it will thrive. Learning how to delegate tasks to AI. Delegating to AI is a lot like delegating to a person. You have to know what to give it, how to describe it, and when to review the results. If you give vague instructions, you'll get vague results. If you explain clearly and set boundaries, you'll get reliable, repeatable outcomes. Here's a simple mental model that helps me. Identify repetitive or time-consuming tasks. These are perfect candidates for AI. Writing summaries, organizing data, drafting outlines, creating templates. Explain your goal clearly. Tell it what outcome you want, not just the task itself. For example, summarize this report so a busy manager can read it in 2 minutes. Review and refine. Treat AI's first answer like a rough draft, not the final version. Ask for tweaks, corrections, or different tones. Save what works. If you find a great prompt, save it for reuse. Over time, you'll build your own library of shortcuts. When you delegate effectively, AI stops being a novelty and starts becoming a trusted coworker, one that never complains about meetings or asks for a raise. Building your personal AI toolkit. Your AI toolkit doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. It's simply a set of tools and habits that make your workflow smoother. Here's what a typical setup might look like. ChatGPT, or your preferred model for writing, editing, summarizing, learning, and creative brainstorming. Midjourney or Canva's AI tools for quick image generation or visual inspiration. Copilot or Gemini for email management, document drafting, and data analysis. Zapier or Make for automating repetitive tasks between your apps. Voice tools like Otter.ai or Nada for meeting notes, transcripts, or summaries. You don't need all of them at once. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 that fit your needs right now. Here's a personal example of how I stack my tools. I use ChatGPT for writing, teaching, and coding assistance. When I create content, Midjourney helps me generate visual assets that match the tone of my projects. If I need to move faster, Zapier automates small things like scheduling posts or organizing notes. Over time, these small improvements add up. I reach a point where most of my repetitive digital chores just happen, and that frees me to focus on what actually matters: creating, teaching, and connecting. How to make AI work for you, not against you. AI can either feel like a friend or a threat. The difference depends on how you approach it. The key is balance. Don't hand over your thinking, but don't be afraid to let it handle the grunt work. Here's how I've personally put that into practice, and how AI helped me find joy in something unexpected. Music. I mentioned earlier that I play guitar, and to put it kindly, my playing used to make people question my life choices. Friends would leave the room. Family members would sigh. One person even asked if my guitar was out of tune or if I was. I was stuck in bad habits from years of winging it and never really improving. That's when I decided to team up with AI, not as a music teacher replacement, but as a coach and partner in learning. I asked ChatGPT to create a structured practice plan based on my current skill level, schedule, and music preferences. It generated a personalized roadmap. Warm-up routines for finger dexterity. A daily mix of rhythm, chord progression, and scale work. Song suggestions that matched my skill level. A weekly reflection prompt. What sounded better this week? And what still frustrates you? Then I asked Midjourney to create visual chord charts with better layout and finger positioning tips. I even had Gemini help me find video tutorials that aligned with the lesson structure ChatGPT designed. Before long, I wasn't just playing around, I was learning deliberately. I realized something. I wasn't using AI to do the work for me. I was using it to guide the work. It became my personal assistant, coach, and motivator rolled into one. Now, when I pick up my guitar, people still might not request an encore, but at least they're not leaving the room. Progress. That experience reminded me of an important truth. AI isn't here to replace passion, creativity, or persistence. It's here to amplify them. It helps us overcome obstacles that used to slow us down and makes learning fun again. Whether you're playing music, running a business, or learning a new skill, AI can fill in the gaps, giving you structure, ideas, and encouragement. You still have to show up and do the work, but it makes the journey smoother and, in my case, a lot less noisy. The mindset that makes all the difference. AI is at its best when you bring curiosity and playfulness to the process. Think of it as your digital partner, one that grows with you as you learn. Here's a simple 3-step approach to make AI work for you. Explore. Try using AI in one new way every week for writing, learning, or even hobbies. Experiment. Don't worry about being perfect. Ask questions, rephrase prompts, and let curiosity lead the way. Evolve. Notice what saves you time or sparks creativity. Build those habits into your daily routine. When you treat AI like a teammate, not a threat, it transforms from a mysterious technology into something familiar and empowering. The real trick isn't mastering the tool. It's mastering the relationship. AI's job is to assist. Your job is to direct. Together, you can do work that's faster, smarter, and more enjoyable than ever before. The bottom line, AI can't play your guitar, write your songs, or live your life, but it can make each of those things easier, more efficient, and more fun. Once you learn how to team up with it, you'll start to see AI not as something you use, but as something you collaborate with. And when that happens, work stops feeling like a grind. It starts feeling like progress. Chapter 9. AI for Creativity and Curiosity. Using AI to write, paint, brainstorm, or plan adventures. If the last few chapters showed you how AI can make work easier, this one is about how it can make life more interesting. AI isn't just a tool for business or coding. It's a surprisingly fun, creative partner. It can help you write stories, paint pictures, compose music, plan trips, or brainstorm ideas you never would have thought of on your own. And the best part? You don't need to be creative in the traditional sense. You just need curiosity. Think of AI as that friend who's always up for an idea, even the weird ones. You throw out a thought, it throws back 5 more, and suddenly you're collaborating with something that never runs out of inspiration. Here are just a few ways people, including me, are using AI for creative exploration. Writing. AI can help you draft blog posts, short stories, or even full books. You can ask it to help with tone, pacing, or character development. I often use ChatGPT when I'm stuck trying to explain a complex idea in plain English. I'll say, explain this as if you were telling it to a 10-year-old, and it magically turns jargon into clarity. And it's not about cheating, it's about collaborating. AI helps me refine my message, experiment with structure, and find the right tone faster. Art and design. Tools like Midjourney and Canva's Magic Studio let you create artwork without being an artist. You can describe what you want, a retro poster of a rocket ship with a warm sunset background, and watch it come alive. I've used AI-generated visuals for project concepts, course thumbnails, and even just for fun. Seeing ideas come alive visually is addictive. Sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's weird. I once asked for a robot drinking coffee in a data center and got something that looked more like a robot becoming coffee. But that's part of the fun. Music. AI can even help with songwriting or composition. I've used it to create chord progressions, suggest lyrics, or recommend warm-up exercises for guitar. Remember my guitar redemption arc from Chapter 8? That all started with a few simple prompts to AI about building better practice habits. And it completely changed how I approached music. Now I occasionally ask, Give me 5 chord progressions that sound optimistic and work well in a pop rock style, or suggest strumming patterns for an acoustic song about perseverance. Suddenly, I've got options to explore instead of staring blankly at the fretboard. It's like having a songwriting buddy who never gets tired of my off-key experiments. Travel and adventure planning. AI can also plan experiences, not just tasks. I've used it to help plan trips with specific goals. For example, plan a 3-day road trip with scenic routes, coffee stops, and one hidden gem location each day. It builds itineraries faster than I could scroll through 100 travel blogs. I've even asked it for local food recommendations in small towns and been pleasantly surprised by the results. AI won't tell you what your next adventure should be, but it will help you plan it faster, cheaper, and smarter. The joy of experimenting. AI as a creative partner. The biggest shift happens when you stop seeing AI as a tool and start seeing it as a partner. AI doesn't replace creativity, it multiplies it. It gives you a safe space to experiment without judgment. You could try 10 ideas in a row, toss out 9, and keep the one that works. That's the joy of it. You can explore without consequence. Here's the truth. Creativity is messy. It's trial and error, false starts, rewrites, and rethinking. AI doesn't get frustrated when you change your mind. It just keeps generating until something clicks. Sometimes I'll open ChatGPT with no plan at all and type, "Let's brainstorm something weird." Then we'll end up creating things like a business that sells AI-generated pet portraits, a comedy sketch about 2 robots arguing over who's more human, a motivational poster that says, "Procrastinate smarter." None of these ideas will win a Nobel Prize, but they spark something, and that's what matters. That's where creativity lives, in the sparks. And because AI never judges, it's the perfect space to fail safely. You can brainstorm, rewrite, remix, and explore freely. Every failed idea gets you closer to the great one. Playful examples that encourage readers to explore. If you've made it this far, it's time to loosen up and have some fun. Here are a few creative challenges you could try. No pressure, just play. 1. Write with AI. Ask it to help write a bedtime story featuring a robot who learns about kindness. Then add your own twist. Maybe it's about your hometown, or maybe the robot learns guitar. Mine still might. 2. Paint with words. Try. Describe a peaceful morning scene in poetic language. Then ask Midjourney, or any AI model for that matter, to visualize it. Compare the text and image, which captures your mood better. 3. Plan a day of joy. Tell AI, design a perfect Saturday for me. Include hobbies, downtime, and one small adventure. See what it comes up with. You might rediscover interests you forgot you had. 4. Remix the familiar. Take a classic story and twist it. Prompt idea. Rewrite Little Red Riding Hood as a modern email exchange between Red and the Wolf. The results will either make you laugh or question your life choices. 5. Explore the unknown. Ask, give me 5 hobbies that involve creativity but don't require artistic skill. You might end up trying cooking experiments, nature photography, or sound design. The goal isn't to be productive, it's to rediscover curiosity. AI gives you permission to explore without pressure. A personal reflection on creativity and curiosity. I've been in technology my entire career, and one of the biggest misconceptions I see is that tech people aren't creative. The truth is, technology is creativity. It's imagination translated into function. When I started exploring AI for fun instead of just work, I rediscovered that side of myself. I used it to plan a few personal projects, generate creative writing prompts, and even visualize design ideas for my websites. What surprised me most wasn't what AI could do. It was what I could do when I stopped limiting myself. Once you stop worrying about being perfect and start experimenting, you realize creativity isn't about talent. It's about permission, the permission to try, fail, and try again. AI gives you that permission in a way nothing else ever has. It doesn't judge, it doesn't laugh, and it doesn't roll its eyes when you ask for the 10th revision of a poem about a robot and a ukulele. The big takeaway: AI isn't just a productivity engine, it's a creativity engine. It can help you dream, explore, imagine, and play. It removes friction so your ideas can flow freely. So don't be afraid to go down rabbit holes, make mistakes, or create something that makes no sense. Sometimes the best ideas start that way. Use AI to write a story, to sketch a logo, to plan a weekend adventure, or, yes, to finally learn that guitar solo without driving your friend away. The possibilities aren't just endless, they're fun. The more you explore with AI, the more you'll realize that creativity isn't disappearing, it's evolving. And for the first time in history, we have a tool that can turn almost any idea into something real. Chapter 10, The Ethics and Accuracy Essentials, without the boring bits. Before we dive in, I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you. If you made it this far, it means you've stuck with me through the history, the how-to, the fun stuff, and even my poor sense of humor. That means a lot. Writing this book has been a joy, and knowing you're here, curious, open-minded, and willing to learn, makes it even better. So truly, thank you for coming along on this journey so far. Now, let's shift gears for a minute. This chapter might not be the flashiest one, but it's one of the most important. Because while AI is amazing, it also comes with a few real-world responsibilities. Don't worry, we're not getting heavy or philosophical. Think of this as the AI Common Sense chapter, practical, down-to-earth, and useful. Bias, misinformation, and why AI sometimes gets things wrong. Let's start with the elephant in the server room. AI doesn't always get it right. Every AI model, no matter how smart, is trained on data created by humans. That means it reflects our strengths, weaknesses, and sometimes our biases. If you ask a model to describe a CEO, it might show a predictable stereotype because that's what it saw most often in its training data. The same goes for assumptions about gender, geography, or profession. It's not intentional, it's inherited. The important thing is awareness. When you know AI can be biased, you can spot it and adjust. And then there's misinformation. AI doesn't actually know facts. It generates answers based on probability. In plain English, it's really good at sounding right, even when it's completely wrong. This is what's called a hallucination, when the model makes something up because it thinks that's what fits the pattern. It's not lying, it's guessing. For example, I once asked an AI model about a specific Microsoft product feature I was sure existed. It confidently gave me details, version number, use case, even a made-up screenshot reference. It all sounded perfect, except it didn't exist. The lesson? Always verify important information. Trust, but verify, just like you would with a new intern. How to use AI responsibly and fact-check smartly. Responsible AI use doesn't require a legal degree. It just takes a few good habits. Here are a few simple rules that keep you on the right side of things. 1. Double-check before you share. If AI gives you data, stats, or quotes, confirm them with a quick search or reliable source. It takes an extra minute, but it can save you a lot of embarrassment later. 2. Avoid sharing personal or sensitive data. Don't feed confidential information, passwords, or private documents into AI tools unless you're absolutely sure about their data policies. Even then, less is more. 3. Be transparent. If you use AI to help create content, say, writing a blog post or designing an image, there's nothing wrong with mentioning it. Most audiences appreciate honesty, especially if you've added your own human touch, which you always do. 4. Keep the human in the loop. Let AI assist, but let you decide. Don't let it make critical calls, especially in areas like hiring, finance, healthcare, or legal decisions. Use it for insight, not authority. 5. Stay updated. AI policies and capabilities change fast. Check occasionally for updates about the tools you use, especially how they handle privacy, storage, and sharing. These aren't hard rules. They're just good habits. Privacy. What to share, what not to share. Think of AI chats like any online form. What you put in might be stored or reviewed later to improve the system. That's not sinister. It's how models learn, but it does mean you should be careful. Here's my personal rule of thumb. If you wouldn't email it to a stranger, don't paste it into an AI chat. This doesn't mean you can't use it for work or brainstorming. Just be mindful. You can anonymize data, summarize sensitive content, or ask for help in general terms. For example, instead of, "Here's a confidential client report, summarize it," try, "Here's a summary of a client project in general terms." What are 3 ways to improve the communication flow? Same benefit, 0 risk. How to be a good AI citizen. AI ethics isn't just about data. It's about mindset. It's about how we use these tools to make things better rather than just faster. Here are a few small ways to be a good AI citizen. Be respectful. Don't use AI to copy, mislead, or manipulate. These tools are powerful, and how we use them shapes the trust people have in them. Give credit. If AI helped you brainstorm or design something, there's no harm in acknowledging it. Transparency builds trust. Use it for good. Teach someone else what you've learned. Show a coworker how to write a better prompt or brainstorm ideas. When more people use AI thoughtfully, the technology gets better for everyone. And above all, stay humble. AI can be incredible, but it's not magic. You still bring the judgment, creativity, and wisdom that no machine can replicate. The human factor. The more powerful AI becomes, the more valuable distinctly human qualities become. Empathy, curiosity, kindness, humor, and purpose. AI can generate ideas, but only you can decide which ones matter. It can predict patterns, but only you can choose meaning. As we step further into this AI-powered era, remember that the best outcomes come from collaboration, not competition. AI handles the how, but you handle the why. A final word on ethics, without the lecture. Using AI responsibly isn't about rules, it's about respect. Respect for truth, privacy, and creativity. Respect for the people your work affects. It's not about perfection. You'll make mistakes, and that's okay. The goal is awareness, learning, improving, and staying thoughtful about the choices we make with this powerful new technology. If you approach AI with curiosity, honesty, and a bit of humility, you'll not only stay out of trouble, you'll help shape a smarter, fairer, and more human future. Chapter 11. The Future of AI. Hope, Hype, and a Dash of Humor. Will AI take over the world? Spoiler, no, it has better things to do. Let's start with the question that keeps popping up in movies, headlines, and dinner table debates. Is AI going to take over the world? Spoiler, no, it has better things to do. AI doesn't want your job, your car, or your Netflix password. It doesn't have wants or motives at all. It's not plotting against humanity. It's trying, and sometimes failing, to auto-complete your emails. The truth is, AI doesn't think, it processes. It doesn't want, it predicts. It's not sitting in a basement somewhere, forming a plan. It's running on data centers, serving up patterns based on prompts. The real challenge ahead isn't that AI will become too powerful. It's that we'll underestimate how powerful we can become when we use it wisely. Why the future is more utopian than dystopian. If you've noticed, a lot of the AI conversation tends to swing between 2 extremes. The robots will destroy us crowd, and the AI will solve everything crowd. Reality, as always, sits somewhere in the middle, but leaning toward the hopeful side. Throughout history, every major innovation, electricity, the internet, the printing press, came with panic first, progress second. And every time we adapted. AI will be no different. It will bring disruption, yes, but it will also bring abundance in creativity, productivity, and opportunity. We're heading into an era where ideas are easier to test, problems are faster to solve, and creativity is no longer limited by skill alone. That doesn't sound like dystopia to me. It sounds like a chance to focus on what really matters. AI in abundance. What happens when creativity and productivity skyrocket? Here's something worth thinking about. What happens when AI automates most of the boring parts of life? When your emails write themselves, your groceries reorder automatically, and your workweek shrinks to 3 days instead of 5. It sounds great, but it also means we'll have to start answering a much deeper question. What do we actually want to do with our time? For a lot of us, that's going to be a big adjustment. We've built entire identities around being busy. We measure success by output, by how much we do, not how much we enjoy. But in a world where AI handles much of the doing, we'll need to rediscover what it means to be. We'll need to shift from being human doings back to human beings. And that might be one of the healthiest things that ever happens to us. We'll finally have time to focus on what really brings us joy, the things that make life feel like life. For some, that might mean music, writing, or painting. For others, gardening, traveling, volunteering, or just spending more time with family. Finding joy in a post-busy world. I've been thinking a lot about what happens when AI gives us back our time, maybe too much time. What will we do with it? Personally, I already got a taste of it. Remember my guitar story? The one where my playing cleared rooms faster than a fire alarm? Well, with AI helping automate much of my daily technical work, scripting, documentation, even brainstorming, I've had more time to play, practice, and actually learn properly. And to my surprise, it's one of the most satisfying parts of my day. I'm still not great, let's be honest. People probably still won't request Freebird, but I've improved, and more importantly, I've learned to enjoy the process instead of rushing through it. That's the gift AI offers us. Time to rediscover what we love. Whether that's playing music, hopefully better than me, tending a garden, or finally writing that novel you've been talking about for 10 years. AI is going to make it possible. But it will also challenge us. Because once we have more free time, we'll have to fill it with something that actually fulfills us. That's where happiness comes in. Not from working less, but from doing more of what makes us feel alive. A peek into what's coming in the next few years and decades. So, what does the near future look like? Over the next few years, we'll likely see AI become even more natural. Not just something we type to, but something we talk to, collaborate with, and integrate seamlessly into daily life. Work, AI will handle routine tasks automatically, allowing teams to focus on strategy, relationships, and creativity. Education. Personalized learning will become the norm. Every student will have their own digital tutor. Healthcare. AI will help detect diseases earlier, analyze treatment outcomes, and free doctors to spend more time with patients. Creativity. Anyone will be able to bring an idea to life, whether that's a film, song, business, or book, with the help of AI tools that make creation effortless. Home life. Everything from your thermostat to your grocery list will quietly take care of itself, anticipating what you need before you do. And beyond that, we may see an economy where time, not labor, becomes the most valuable resource. That's both exciting and daunting, but it's also deeply human, because at our core, we're not built just to work. We're built to create, connect, and contribute. Why optimism is the smartest outlook of all. I'm an optimist by nature, and I think optimism is the only sane way to approach the future of AI. That doesn't mean ignoring the risks. It means believing that we can meet them with wisdom and creativity. It means trusting that we'll adapt, as we always have, and come out stronger on the other side. The better we prepare, mentally, emotionally, and socially, the happier we'll be in this new world. The real challenge won't be keeping up with AI. It'll be keeping up with ourselves. Learning to slow down, rediscover purpose, and fill our time with the things that truly matter. And if we do that, if we lean into curiosity, creativity, and community, then the future looks less like a sci-fi movie and more like something deeply hopeful. A world where technology gives us the space to become more human, not less. Chapter 12. Your first 7 days with AI. Practical, fun, easy actions anyone can take. You made it all the way here. You understand what AI is, how it works, how to talk to it, and maybe even how to team up with it for work, learning, and fun. Now it's time to roll up your sleeves and actually use it. This isn't a crash course or a tech boot camp. It's a friendly 7-day guide to help you explore AI confidently, safely, and at your own pace. Each day includes a small, practical activity you can do in less than 20 minutes. No stress, no jargon, just simple wins to build your confidence and show you what's possible. By the end of the week, you won't just understand AI, you'll be using it naturally. Step-by-step guide for experimenting safely. Before we start, a quick word on safety. When you experiment with AI, keep it light and general. Don't upload personal, financial, or confidential data. Avoid sharing private details like names, addresses, or client info. Think of AI as a helpful assistant. Smart, capable, but not cleared for sensitive material. If you stick to everyday tasks, you're in the clear. Ready? Let's begin. Day 1. Get comfortable talking to AI. Start simple. Open ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, whichever tool feels most comfortable, and just talk to it. Ask a few friendly questions. Explain how solar panels work in plain English. Give me 5 healthy dinner ideas. Tell me a joke about technology. Notice how the model responds, and don't worry about being formal. Treat it like you're chatting with a knowledgeable friend who's never tired of your questions. You're not trying to be perfect here, just to build comfort with conversation. Day 2. Try a writing or editing task. Now that you're comfortable, let's use AI for something practical. Pick a small writing task you'd normally do yourself, maybe an email, a short message, or a social media post. Prompt example. Write a short, friendly email to a coworker thanking them for helping with a project. Keep it sincere but lighthearted. Then ask it to tweak the tone. Now make it sound more professional. Or add a touch of humor. See how it adjusts? That's the power of clarity and feedback. Day 3. Brainstorm something fun. Today, use AI for creativity. It doesn't have to be work-related. Ask for ideas about something you enjoy. Give me 5 ways to make my garden more eco-friendly. Suggest 3 fun ways to spend a Saturday that don't cost much. Help me come up with a name for my new hobby blog. This is where AI starts feeling more like a creative partner than a productivity tool. If you're feeling adventurous, ask it to write a short poem or song lyrics about your favorite pastime. If you ask it to write about guitar playing, it might do a better job than I ever did. Day 4. Summarize or simplify something complex. Pick something you recently read, an article, report, or a technical document, and have AI summarize it. Try. Summarize this text in 3 bullet points. Or explain this in a way a 12-year-old could understand. This is one of AI's greatest strengths, making complexity simple. You'll be amazed how much time this saves in daily life. If you want to go further, ask it to create a short LinkedIn post or paragraph summarizing this topic. That turns understanding into communication. Day 5. Use AI for learning. Choose a skill or topic you've always wanted to learn. Something small, like photography, Excel shortcuts, or even a new language. Prompt example. Teach me the basics of playing acoustic guitar for beginners. Create a simple 7-day practice plan. Yes, that's one I've personally used, and no, it didn't instantly make me sound good, but it definitely made me better. AI can build personalized learning paths, daily practice tips, and even quizzes to test your progress. This is where it starts becoming a personal coach, one that never gets impatient or runs out of lessons. Day 6. Automate or organize one thing. Today's goal: save time. Pick one small, repetitive task you do often, writing a daily update, sorting notes, drafting routine messages, and see how AI can help. Prompt example. Create a reusable template for a weekly status report, or write a polite message to follow up on an unanswered email. If you're feeling brave, explore tools like Zapier or Microsoft Copilot to automate small digital chores. Start tiny. Even one automation can save hours over time. Day 7. Create something that brings you joy. You've learned how to talk to AI, delegate tasks, and experiment safely. Now it's time to have a little fun. Ask AI to help you make something that makes you happy. That could be a short story about a topic you love, a photo or illustration using an AI art tool, a simple business idea or passion project plan, a custom practice routine for your favorite hobby. Here's the key. It doesn't have to be useful, just joyful. Let AI remind you that creativity isn't about perfection. It's about exploration. Quick wins to build confidence. By the end of these 7 days, you'll have done more than test a few tools. You'll have learned how to communicate clearly with AI, use it responsibly and safely, save time on repetitive tasks, boost creativity and learning. Enjoy the process along the way. You'll also notice something important. That sense of fear or hesitation you might have had before, it's gone. Because once you start using AI, the mystery disappears. You realize it's not here to replace you. It's here to help you. The start of your AI journey. This 7-day experiment isn't an ending. It's the beginning. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. Over time, you'll develop your own rhythm, your own way of blending AI into your work and life. You'll start to see opportunities everywhere, a better way to write, to learn, to plan, to create. And maybe, just maybe, you'll look back a month from now and realize how far you've come. Not because AI changed who you are, but because it helped you unlock a little more of what was already there. Conclusion. Your AI journey starts now. If you've made it here, truly, thank you. You just walked through the world of artificial intelligence in plain English, from what it is and how it works to how you can actually use it, at work, at home, and even for fun. You now know something most people don't. That AI isn't magic and it isn't menace. It's a tool, one that's only as powerful, creative, and meaningful as the person using it. And that person is you, your new normal. From this point on, you'll start seeing AI everywhere, not in a sci-fi sense, but in everyday life. You'll notice it in your inbox, in your car, in the way your favorite apps recommend songs or shows. You'll also start realizing that AI isn't replacing your intelligence. It's augmenting it. It's giving you back time, space, and creative energy. Time to focus on what really matters. Space to explore ideas you've been putting off. Energy to do the things that make you feel alive. That's the real power of AI, not automation, but amplification. Rediscovering what matters. As AI takes over more of the repetitive, mechanical parts of life, we'll all face an important question. What do we actually want to do with the time it gives back to us? Maybe it's writing, painting, gardening, teaching, or finally learning that guitar solo, and hopefully doing it better than I did at first. Whatever it is, it's worth doing. The future belongs to people who combine curiosity with creativity, who use technology not as a crutch, but as a catalyst, who stay human in a world that's becoming increasingly automated. That's where real fulfillment will come from. The first step is enough. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this book, it's this. You don't need to master AI to benefit from it. You just need to start. Even small steps, a rewritten email, a brainstorm session, a 10-minute experiment can spark big changes. The more you use AI, the more you'll realize that it's not about being tech-savvy. It's about being human-savvy. It's about knowing what matters to you and using the best tools available to get there. A final thought. AI will keep evolving. Tools will change. Interfaces will shift. But what won't change is the opportunity it offers, the chance to do more of what makes life meaningful. So, as you set off on your own AI journey, remember, you're not late to the party. You don't need permission to start. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is curiosity, courage, and a little sense of humor when things get weird, and they will. Use AI to learn, to explore, to create, to free up your time for what you love. Use it to make your life a little easier and maybe a little brighter. Because the future of AI isn't about machines. It's about you. So go ahead. Your AI journey starts now. And who knows? Maybe the next time I pick up my guitar, you'll still be in the room. Acknowledgements. Writing this book has been an incredible journey, one that's taught me as much about people as it has about technology. First, I want to thank you, the reader. Whether you're brand new to AI or just curious about what it all means, the fact that you made it here, that you stuck with me through every chapter, every example, and every dad-level guitar reference means a lot. I hope this book helped you feel more confident, more inspired, and maybe even a little more excited about the world that's unfolding around us. To everyone who's part of the AI beginner community, thank you for proving that learning doesn't have to be intimidating. Your curiosity and enthusiasm are what make this entire mission worthwhile. You remind me every day that AI doesn't belong to tech experts. It belongs to everyone. And finally, to my wife, Kate, thank you for your patience, understanding, and good humor as I disappeared into writing mode for far longer than planned. You saw me vanish into my laptop, surrounded by notes, half-drunk coffee, and too many "I'm almost done" moments. Your support made this book possible, and I couldn't have done it without you. You've always believed in what I'm building, and in me, even when I was buried under drafts, revisions, and late-night inspiration sessions. Thank you for being the calm in the middle of all the chaos. And to everyone reading this, thank you for being part of the story. This book might have started with my words, but its purpose continues with yours. Here's to curiosity, creativity, and the courage to keep learning, one friendly prompt at a time. You just listened to the complete audiobook edition of AI Made Simple, the beginner's guide to artificial intelligence. If you made it all the way through, that alone tells me something. You're not avoiding this shift. You're thinking about it carefully. And that's exactly the right approach. AI isn't about hype. It's not about becoming technical. And it's not about replacing professional judgment. It's about understanding what's changing and building the capability to work alongside it. If you're ready for a structured way to move from understanding to practical application, start with the free 30-day roadmap at aibeginner.net/start. It's designed specifically for mid-career professionals who want a calm, step-by-step entry point, without overwhelm and without risking credibility. If you found this audiobook helpful, consider leaving a review on your podcast platform. It helps more professionals discover structured, responsible guidance. And if you have a question you'd like answered on a future episode, you can reach out through aibeginner.net. Until next time, stay steady, stay curious, and keep building capability.